Okay, so welcome. Today we're going to be talking about intentional thinking and keeping calm at Christmas. So I don't know about you ladies. I myself, our family doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, but I definitely feel the energy of Christmas, and um, and the burden that comes with gift giving and receiving and trying to keep joyous and happy constantly, and sometimes faking it until you make it kind of thing as well. So that kind of, yes, it's fun, but yes, it's not fun, and there's a lot of energy, and sometimes things can go pretty upside down. So I just want to spend today kind of helping or giving some opportunities to see things in another way. I guess that's what it's about today. Hopefully this serves. Right. So, um, Christmas is crazy, right? I mean, like, I don't know if anyone else would disagree with me, but I would say everyone would agree that Christmas is crazy. Yes? Yep. Okay, cool. So Christmas is often an overwhelming time for many. Today, we're going to focus on strategies to stay calm and practice intentional thinking. So we can sit there and be on a roller coaster of emotions and just follow along with the craziness and just get in that like mindless crazy line that just leads towards the more crazy. Or we can get intentional and start to put ourselves in a position where we can manage our mind and choose calm and step, right? So, by intentionally practicing and putting our mind onto things that will help us to be more calm, we can step off that fast track and actually get an opportunity to stop and smell the roses, or in this case, the pine cones or something. I don't know. What do they have? The hollyhock or something? I don't know what Christmas flowers there are at the time of the year. Um, I'm sure Jenny will pop some flowers in there. What flowers are flowering at those particular times over in England that smell nice? Having a chance to stop and smell those things, metaphorically as well, of course. So enjoying the season, because the season is actually a joyous time, and when we think about it as a child, we did have a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment. Let's just say you can smell the turkey or something like that, right? Or the brandy in the custard. Mm, poinsettias. Do they smell? Poinsettias smell? I don't think they smell. No, but they're pretty. Yeah. Um, Yeah, so the mistletoe. Mistletoe, does mistletoe smell? I don't know if mistletoe smells. Hmm, there you go. Might be something I set my intention for this year to find out whether mistletoe smells and what does it smell of. Oh, things like ginger are really cool smell at this time of year. So ginger and yeah, cinnamon. Cinnamon is cool too. So like, but stopping and actually finding a way to get grounded and more present. And smell is actually a really cool way to do that. So what we want to do is find a calm Christmas instead of a crazy Christmas. So, a calm Christmas is going to be about thinking about what makes us calm. So, I want you to think of a time when you had a Christmas that you were calm in. And what is it that made it calm? Um, so, for me, I'm thinking of, the moments when I've sat back and just been able to take in the fact that all the family's there. And just like that moment where you've just gone, even if people aren't there, it's just a moment of freeze frame where everything's like kind of chaotic but wonderful at the same time. Or maybe it's when everyone's gone, or when you're really full after a big meal and you just sit back and you're like, oh man, I feel really good. Like everything's kind of calmed down, or the presents are all being unwrapped and it's chaotic everywhere, and yet you just find that one moment of calmness to just take it in. Or maybe it's the silent night, listening to music or carols by candlelight, or yeah, just have a moment to kind of think, what is it that made your calm at that particular, it might be childhood memory, something you did when you were a child. It might be drinking eggnog, taking a moment to have a big hot coffee. Oh no, in winter, it's winter over there. I can't imagine us sitting back here with a hot chocolate and just, but just taking that moment to stop and go, what makes my calm Christmas? Anyone want to share? Like, feel welcome to come on down and share.
I find the chaos, because normally I'm fairly calm, but the chaos is really society puts on Christmas, right? If it wasn't all about keeping up with the Joneses and the big gifts and well, my friends at school got, skis and all I got was socks. It's the chaos of society that puts it onto Christmas and the commercials and the endless, right? For me, I would just love a family dinner where we all get together because we're finally all off that day. And there don't even have to be gifts because we really all have what we want, unless you do maybe just a little, secret Santa exchange. But I think the hype of Christmas has made it chaotic and people forget about the calm and what it's really all about.
Hmm. Yeah. So we got to decide whether we want to subscribe to that crazy because, yeah, it is. And some people love that energy. Some people love the craziness. It's like, you know, at work where I am, there's like a whole heap of different people, and some people were putting lights up and doing the elf thing, and and doing all these decorations everywhere. And I'm not necessarily a decoration person, but I got behind it this year and put my little reindeer ears on for the sake of people, and it actually did kind of feel good. But I chose whether I subscribed to it or not, like whether I wanted to or not. So deciding whether we want to subscribe to crazy or whether we want to subscribe to calm. And it's again doing that self work and going, yes, there definitely is a pitch in retail, because if I can make people energetic and want to buy and feel good about it, then of course they're going to buy more. So I want to make it festive and I want to make it colorful and I want to make it joyous, and I want people to buy on impulse. That's what the whole money making thing is. However, we get to decide whether we subscribe to that. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the Christmas tree is calming. Yeah, Tasha. So some people will do that and go, okay, I love my tree. I love putting up. People actually look forward to that day when they put the tree up. Um, and it's it's like, oh no, I got to put the tree up, and it's like that crazy kind of chaotic thing. But when we sit there and we've done it and we look at it, that's when our calm hits, and we just go, oh, this feels good, and our body remembers that good feeling just as much as it remembers the crazy feeling. But for some reason, our ego wants us to remember the negative stuff. It's just its job. Our ego's job is to remind us of all our negative stuff. Our conscious self is about reminding us of our good stuff. And we often don't pay conscious attention to that. And so this is what this is about. It's choosing your calm Christmas moments and choosing what to do with that. That's the intentional work we do. I have some comments here. So every year the thought of decorating overwhelms me, but by the time I open the second bin and all the memories in those Xmas bins, I come around. Exactly, exactly. So that overwhelming feeling is the ego going, protect, protect, protect. That's my job. I need to protect you. I need to protect you. Right. But the nice intentional feeling, the present person says, but I want to do this. I actually enjoy doing this. I choose to do this. This is something I am intentionally choosing to do. No one is forcing me to do it. It's easy for me to think that someone's forcing me, because then I can pamper to my ego's stress level. But when I take it away from that particular area and focus on my intentional, more calm self, I actually like doing what I do. I can have both. Jenny, you've got last year, boyfriend and I were together. We had a light meal, Christmas roast on Boxing Day rather than on Christmas Day. Yep. If it, oh, why is I can't see. If it feels relaxing, because we were in the bubble of doing our Christmas Day in ways that we were comfortable with. Yes, exactly. So choosing, I get to choose how I'm going to do it. I'll do it in my time, my place, yeah. And that's taking, that is literally a really great example of taking um, conscious, intentional action there. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and lights and I love walking around and seeing all the flashy lights and everything. Personally, I just couldn't be bothered. I think every now and then I could put some lights up or put some decoration up, but I don't have any pressure to do that, thankfully. Um, which so many people do because they feel like that's something that there's the should, right, Tessa, that I should do it because my other family did it or whatever. But we don't have to subscribe to the shoulds. And that's where we can, yeah. Is anyone here swamped with pressure of Christmas? Yeah. I think in all ways, we all have it. We all, like, I don't think there's anyone that's not touched by the Christmas crazy in some ways, but to different levels, right? Some people are getting it from different angles. Some people, I was talking to a lady yesterday who is actually separated and she still has, so she has another partner, and she said every Christmas, her partner isn't allowed to come to Christmas because Christmas is about her family. And the ex family, the ex guy comes and they have family time at Christmas. And I'm like, wow. So what does your partner do? And she said, well, he goes and spends time with his family. I'm like, that's got to be a lot of pressure. But and she says, well, yeah, but we've chosen this. This is our we've come. She didn't use those words, but she's chosen that's something they want to do for their kids and that. And now, so instead of being resentful and bitter and negative about it, this is something they choose to do. So yeah. So you can, and everyone in some ways will get different levels of the crazy. And then, yeah, so as Tessa said, often when you got grandchildren and you're hearing media and you're hearing all these things that say you should, and they're hearing it from their peer pressures and all those type of things. And yet sometimes you can get them the best toys ever and they'll be like, look at it and then put it away the next day. So that's the thing is it's what are the memories that they're going to bring in and remember as their calm Christmas moments? And can you and not even putting the should you like making you pressure into making those, but what do you think is the things that's going to carry on to them?
I
Like,
can I can tell you from my childhood that it's not the gifts. It's the little play we put on. My sisters and I, we put a little play on for my parents. It's the fondue dinner that we had all around the same table. It's not the gifts. I mean, like you said, you play with them, you might love them and adore them for one day or a year, but it is really the tradition of Christmas with your family is what I remember the most.
because those have carried through you up to now. As a child, though, when you had the idea and the thought that there could be a present under there, that's the thing that gave you the excitement. It's not actually the
Mm,
gift that gave you the excitement, it's the anticipation and the
right.
energy and the excitement
What could it
towards
be?
that. Yeah, the what could it be thing and the what might happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but you knew that the emotion and the feelings were fantastic. And then you'd have the gift. And, I think it's great if kids, in a sense, it's actually good if a kid goes, ah, thank you. And then off they go and play and ignore that toy. Because to me, that's better than going, oh, I wish I'd had something else and feeling miserable and horrible, and moaning that they never got anything and anything like that, which could happen as well. But to me, if a kid gets a gift and goes, oh, that's cool, and then puts it to the side, they've had all that build up to it. It doesn't matter about the gift. The gift's nothing. It's the energy that you put into purchasing the gift for that moment when they opened it and revealed it. It's then tick, it's done its purpose. What they do with it after that, yeah, that's more of a me problem. I don't have memories of Christmas Day as a child. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I sit here, you say how sad that is, but I just think it's just another experience. It may be sad if you compare it. However, Christmas Day, like I said to you, we never celebrated Christmas after I was 7 because we were in our religion, we don't celebrate Christmas. And I didn't feel sad about not celebrating Christmas. What I felt sad about was the pressure of what people were going through. And um, yeah, probably more the family thing that I noticed because my mum was a single mum. And I think if my mum could have, she would have bought us stuff. Um, yeah, so it's about making those other days special or um, just again finding what makes you calm. I actually found calmness in the fact that I didn't have the pressure of having to buy people gifts and presents. That was the calm for me. And I imagine Jenny, like what were you so if you didn't do Christmas, what did you do on those particular days? Like what was that for you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So she would be upset and cry and not be able to handle her emotions. Yeah. So what did you do for yourself as that you can remember a moment where you were able to actually let her have her sadness and do you? There is both exist at the same time. There's the craziness and the emotions, and then there's the calm. And it's going, okay, while the craziness exists, I can choose the intentional calm. Yeah, I love that. I love that you can recognize that both exist at that time. I've decided this year um, to get, oh, I'm not quite sure what that's it. To get a little something for the kids, and that's it. Yeah, I'm at peace with that decision. You know, chances are that little thing that you get could be everything. And it's meant to be for the kids anyway. I mean, it's why, like personally, myself, I feel like what are you going to give an adult that they're going to be really excited and happy about, unless they're really just tapping into their child self anyway. Right? Buy your own gift and put it under the tree if you're an adult. You can do that type of thing. It is about giving. It's about giving and allowing these kids to have their good moments and to have something special. So they've got their calm memories for the future. Maybe, you know, like yeah, moments of opportunities, a time when we can hug or spend time doing something together or sharing food, coming together, whatever it is for you, will possibly pass down to your children as well. Even necessarily to your children, but the children that you come in touch with. So, intentional thinking is making conscious choices about your thoughts and actions. So, for example, choosing gratitude over frustration or prioritizing connection over perfection. So, Jenny, that was a perfect example actually of the fact that you were adopting the perfection of your mum going overwhelmed by what she needed to do, right? And so you could feel that anticipation and not necessarily know what it is, but you felt it, and that pressure to have sadness. And it's like, I need to feel sad the day before Christmas because this is something that my mum always did, so I'm just going to do it without even knowing why I'm doing it. I'm going to feel sad about the day. But now, by being conscious, I can actually prioritize the fact that that was my way of feeling connected with my mother, because I actually really wanted her to be happy and really wanted her to experience things. And so that was me connecting with my mother, but not knowing how to communicate that. Because the next day we were connected and it felt amazing. Yeah. Yeah, so cool. And knowing that you'll go into Christmas or whatever, and if you happen to contact mum, she would have that negative feeling the day before. That's going to come. And having that intentional feeling, yes, mum, I know there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of things, and you would love it to be so much more. But mum, I know that tomorrow I will still feel exactly happy and loved, and I'll eat a parsnip for you or something like that. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't all bad, exactly. Exactly, not at all. But our mind wants to go there because, again, if we allow our ego to go, we're just going to go with the crazy storm. We're just going to go with the flow of everything else. But when we become intentional, we choose how we want to respond. And we don't just choose and go, well, I'm going to be positive or I'm going to be this. It's going, bring that conscious awareness. Those positive things do exist. They're there. and there's things I love about it, right? So, like, Susan, with your grandchildren, you want to be there with them. You want to give them gifts. You want to make them feel amazing, right? If you knew that there was a magic toy that was worth $1,000, but you knew that that toy was going to make them have the best future in ever, you would go out and sell your arm for it, right? Because you care so much, you want to give it to them, and that's pressure, right? That's pressure. But recognizing that's because you love them. Love is something that is never going to be able to be understood by a child until they grow up. So, how can you love them intentionally? And they're not going to. So, when you give them and say, hey, look at you, you've grown that much. Look at you. Oh, you're so grown up. Oh, you're a wonderful kid. They're not going to necessarily remember that, but they'll feel it. And it's a much bigger gift than you can ever put in a package. Mm. And watching them smile at something, just they're going to have those moments. They won't know. Yeah, how much was it? Maybe not. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing is it's a situation. Here's a worked example, which kind of fits in, I think, in a way, right? So last Christmas, I chose Mary, interesting name, right? um, so Mary decided to approach the season with intention of connection over perfection. So in previous years, Mary had found herself caught up in stress of hosting, buying perfect gifts, and ensuring everything was picture perfect. That year, Mary intentionally planned small, meaningful moments, like a family walk to see the neighborhood lights and a cozy evening of board games. When unexpected challenges arose, like a late delivery of gifts, Mary reminded herself of her intention and focused on the joy of being with loved ones. The season felt calmer and more fulfilling as she let go of the unnecessary expectations and stayed present with each moment. If we can sit with that moment and go, what is it that I value about now and the present and be intentional about it, then we will let go of all the stress and the burden that we have as well. So when we feel guilt because we should have got a present for blah, 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 and they're now sad, we are intentional and say, but I decided that gifts are not that important. And so I'm going to let it go. What was important was me being here. Or what was important was for me to be present. Being present and being who you are and where you are, you can never give anyone else any better gift than just being you or them being them and allowing them to be them. There's no better gift to see someone for who they are right in that moment. They may not know the words to say thank you. So here's some grounding. I've got a couple of grounding activities that you can also do. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is a really great one, and especially at Christmas time. Stopping and doing the 5 things I can see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I can hear, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste is a really great one at Christmas time. So when you find yourself overwhelmed and you're feeling guilt or feeling whatever, or you're the day before and it's just building up and you just want to lose all your crap, stopping and just going, okay, wait a moment. What's 5 things that I can see? I can see my Christmas tree. I can see the flashy lights. I can see the cards on the lentil piece. I can see, I can see my reindeer ears, whatever. Look around and see. Okay, what are 4 things that I can touch? Well, I can touch my other hands. I can touch the cat. It brings you back. And by the time you get to number 1 and you're at the taste, nearly always guarantee you've lost the overwhelm feeling. Sorry, that cat look was just perfect. Oh, what an amazing cat. Just straight at the camera. So yeah, has anyone used this one often? Like the 5 4 3 2 1? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I only have to do the 5 4 3 and I actually do it as 3 2 1. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I just go, what's three things I can see? What's two things I can touch? What's one thing that I can hear or smell or taste? And I just do it that way. If it's big, I have to go 5 4 3 2 1 if it's really emotional. The problem I have is remembering to do it when I'm in the middle of it. Like, I when I do it, it works. But like I forget to do it. And if anyone tries to remind me to do it, that doesn't go well either. Someone says, "Oh, you should do your 5 4 3 2 1." I say, "Get lost." No, yeah, yeah. So, um, often do one of each. Yeah, one of each is good. And yeah, so grounding, yeah, a lot of feeling things to ground. I actually bought myself. I think I told you, ladies, about the fact that I bought the garnet. Is it garnets? No, they're not garnets. What are they called? The purple ones?
Amethyst.
Amethyst. Thank you. Garnets are green, aren't they? Amethysts are purple. Yes. So I bought myself three amethyst rocks, and if I ever need to, I just pull them out, and there's three of them on my hand, and I just will just roll them around in my hand for a bit and just ground with those. And I bought the three on my ring as well in here. Yeah. Yeah. So they remind me to just stay grounded, and that's what I need to just go. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all good. It's all good. It's all good. I reckon rubies would have to be the December color, right? Because they're red. Mm, be a nice color to have. So, and they didn't cost. They cost like $1 or $2 each. So, they don't even cost much to get if you find them and go to a gem shop. I actually love going to my gem shop. It's amazing. I could stay in there for hours and just look around. So, another option that you can do is to create yourself a calm corner. So, calm corner is a dedicated space where you can retreat during stressful moments. So, if you're going to someone's place, suss out a calm corner. Or if you're having people come to you, often people's calm corner is their bedroom, right? And have it set up so that you can have a cozy blanket or a favorite book or diffuser with some smelly things. I love, like having scented candles around. You can sometimes just, okay, I just need a moment. I'm just going to set my alarm sometimes. To some people are okay with setting alarms. Some people find that setting an alarm is even more stressful. They might say, hey, come and get me in 10 minutes. I'm just going to go and sit in my calm corner for a moment, right? I just need people would go, I need time out, but time out can seem really uh like you need to get away from everything and stuff. I need to find a way to regulate me. I'm not trying to say you get lost. I need to find a way to calm myself. And so I'm choosing this calm corner and this calm moment. And yeah, and you may have a journal in there as well if you want to just not jot down some things. Sometimes offloading onto a piece of paper so that you can go off and enjoy again is good. Like, especially if things start getting up. Oh, I've got to do that, and I've got to do that, and I've got to do that, I've got to do that. Okay, take a moment to go out there, write it all down, and then come back and enjoy the moment. So calm corners can work as well. So now it is your turn. So, what are three priorities for this season that are important to you? Identify potential stresses and list strategies to address them. And then end with one small action you can commit to daily to stay calm. So I probably could have put that a bit clearer, but three priorities. So on a piece of paper, what are three priorities that you're going to remember to do? Identify potential stressor you're going to have and how you're going to address that. Right. So it might be overwhelm. It might be this another stress might be gift giving. Like so for instance, me, I really struggle at gift giving when everyone's opening up everyone else's present and they're like, oh, what have we got? And then I open mine up and it's like, a potato. And I'm like, no, not really. But and I feel like no matter what's going to be in that part, what in my parcel, it's never going to be enough because that's my thing, right? I'm not enough. I'm never good enough. I'm not, everyone else is this. And it's I don't like it about myself because I know I there's my should, see, I should be grateful, right, for what I get. But nothing I get is ever going to be good enough for what I'm missing because I'm thinking I'm going to get the value in a toy. But I know in my conscious self, my present self, that what I'm really wanting is just a sign that somebody actually cares about me or knows me, right? So if they do something personal, it's really touching. So, for instance, our Christmas party yesterday, we did Kringle, but we got to kind of choose who we did the Kris Kringle for. And the person who bought for me knew I liked plants, and they went out and bought these two big plants, right? And it was just such a great feeling to get. It wouldn't have mattered, like it just, and I had also set myself up to go, I'm happy if I get a potato today because I'll make mashed potato for tea or something like that. Like I just had to put that intention and go, I'm open to receive anything. But yeah, the pressure, Christmas pressure. I don't know about you guys, but it's like you have to buy a present for this person, that person, that person, that person, even at work. Like I spent over $100 on gifts for work stuff, and yeah, and then you have to buy a Kris Kringle for somebody else, and they might not be happy with it either. Yeah, but that was just what I just this year I just went, you know what? I'm just going to do that because that's what I've chosen to do. I don't have to participate, but do it with no expectations. I think that's been my thing. No expectations. And yeah, yeah. And even when I do get the disappointment, let myself be disappointed and then remind myself that I had no expectations. So then the priorities come in, right? So what were my priorities? My priorities were to participate, to be there and to be present and to be bringing joy to everybody else, not be the Grinch or the negative Nelly in the room. They're my priorities. So if I get something that's disappointing, be disappointed, Catherine, and then remind yourself that you chose to be there. You want to be there and you want to make everyone else feel happy and included as well. Okay, cool. I can do that. So I always thought that it was me building up the excitement so much that nothing could be given to me. I would be thinking it's not enough or good enough. Yeah. Yeah. I need to kind of have that a little bit explained, I think. I always thought it was me building up the excitement so much that nothing could be given to me.
I've always built up the excitement. Oh, my birthday's coming, or Christmas is coming, and Christmas is
Yeah.
coming, and la 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 la. And it gets here, and it's such a letdown because you're right. You get a pair of socks after all the things that you've built up in your mind and you think you're doing for other people. And, you just want it so bad to have this hallmark moment, maybe, even if there is no gifts or what have you. And it's just seems like it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Right?
bringing the conscious awareness of what's going on there. And it sounds to me like you enjoy anticipation. You enjoy the excitement. You enjoy the build up. You enjoy the moment up until the climax. And then the climax is the end. And that's
Is
what you
it
don't
that,
enjoy. You
or
don't
if I
enjoy.
just, is it that, or is it just a little pity party that I think that, well, nothing, it's not good enough, or it's not exciting enough, or maybe there
But
is
that's
no,
the point. The point then is how do you justify the feeling that you feel? The feeling is it's ended. I
yeah.
feel disappointed because it's ended. So I make a story to fit my disappointment rather than actually just feel disappointed. And the story is no one can ever give me anything good enough because the disappointment that I feel, rather than actually just feel disappointment and sad about the fact that now my excitement's finished because I've had the reveal. So it's not going to be anything after this. I'm not going to be excited anymore because I now have had the reveal, right? You needed to make a story. Just the same. I can relate because that was it. Once you get to that point and you have what you have, you got nothing to look forward to now. You got nothing to no more to look forward to because you've got your reveal. It's like, oh, it's like watching a movie and then the series finish. It's like, oh, we loved it while we were watching it. Now it's ended.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, now what?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So then it's actually not about the gift, it's about the anticipation and the build up. So if you were able to be conscious to that and able to communicate that to somebody who you care about, you could say, you know what I want is you to choose one of these three things and put it in a box for me and put it over there. Or even choose three things and be happy with any one of those three things and say, I want you to buy that. Because you can't be disappointed in that. You know you're not going to be disappointed in that. You're setting that intention that you know you're not going to be disappointed with any one of those three things that they bought,
Yeah.
right?
But you
But
know
you don't
what? I
know what it
don't even
is, that
think,
anticipation.
yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
even think for me it's a gift, or I don't think it's the
No, of course
receiving of
not.
it. It's just no. Yeah.
No.
Huh.
So it's the fun and the excitement of the not knowing, the adventure. Because that's what, I mean, I guess, in like I keep saying, in some ways we're similar, Susan, in the fact that we love adventure and we love going out until we're overwhelmed, and then we want safety again, and then we just want to stay safe back in our own place again, and then we get bored in that place, and then we want adventure again, and then we get too far adventure and it becomes too much overwhelming, and then we want safety again, and then we get bored again, and that's what our life. Yeah, exactly.
That's why my
And so
stomach
it's
gets
then fitting.
sick on a
Yeah,
seesaw.
exactly. And so then it's extending that middle, what they call the window of tolerance, so that it fits within those realms rather than overwhelming or underwhelming. So the underwhelming is depressed. The overwhelming is the dramatizing, and people have aggression, and those type of things. It's sitting in the middle and just going, you know what, I can create a swing in this spot that's safe. I love Christmas because I love the anticipation and the excitement, and I can borrow my grandchildren's excitement. But I know when they open that present, they'll probably feel like I did, or I can imagine that they would feel like I did. And that's okay because it doesn't matter. They'll know next year they'll get the same excitement. And then I don't have to feel guilty about needing to make them feel good enough about themselves because they won't.
I find it's like January is very anticlimactic, if that's the right
Mm.
word, right? Because of all the hoopla of Christmas and New Year's, and then January for Canadians is a very long, cold month, and it drags out, and there's nothing in January. And so people are like, really miserable and, really down, and or they didn't have the Christmas they wanted. But I find also with the gift giving, um, and then when you get the potato or the socks and it's kind of boring. For me, it's because I put a lot of thought into gifts that I give. Like I listen throughout the year and I consider myself fairly attentive. And I'm like, oh, their favorite sport is hockey. Or, oh, they love plants. So then it seems to me that I am giving a gift that isn't just going to go into the cupboard, right? Like another crystal bowl at someone's wedding, let's say. So that's hard for me, is because I feel like I put so much effort and thought into it, or I make something, homemade. Like this year I made homemade cards, even though we have a postal strike and we can't send them. I just feel that, sometimes people don't put the same effort in, and then that's disappointing.
Again, is your value. Your value is what you love doing, and you can celebrate that and go, I like doing this. This is why I do it. I do this for them because I like to do it. But their value might be just get it done. Just
Yeah.
give them to whatever. Just give
Yeah.
whatever because I just want to go drink and have fun. I want to spend time with these people. That's what I like doing. I like getting drunk with them and socializing and finding out what they're doing, or,
Or
that
they
can be
could be
their
in the
important.
middle
The
of it
present's
as
nothing. The
well.
present's just a
Yeah.
whatever. They
Yeah.
just go, oh, the present's just a gift giving thing. I don't want to put the effort in because I'll probably get the wrong thing, and I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I'd rather just get them a whatever thing. So that's
Yeah.
their value is them. So it's again being able to go, yes, those things are protective. And yes, those things are me because I like doing these things. So do them because you like doing them for you. The disappointment that we get is our expectation of the
Mhm.
anticipation of how other people should respond. But we
Good.
release the expectation and we become more intentional and going, well, I chose to do that. I chose to put the effort into knowing them and to knowing the little things about them. I like that I did that. I honor myself that I bought them something that they value. It doesn't matter what they gave me. They could give me a potato. I wouldn't care less because I liked doing what I did.
And can I just say, you never know what that other person is in. Every other time of the
Of
year,
course
we're
not.
we're we're kind of trying to be empathetic about, taking a break and thinking about, well, they must really be going through it at the moment, or maybe they are going through it, or maybe we talk about that when we're, driving in traffic, that you don't know what the other person is going through, right? And so it may not be their value may not be sitting well with them either, right? So
Mm.
I don't know, it could
It's
be
hard to,
the
yeah, it's hard to do that. So even if we're feeling it ourselves. So once we, if,
yes.
and that is definitely a place we can get to, but we have to manage our own emotion about what we're going with first, and then we can do that. And when we can do that, it's interesting because when we stop and we go, actually, if we get, and that's the get curious, right? If we can get curious about what's going on in their world, maybe they did think that that's the type of person you were. Maybe they did think that you would actually really value that potato because you'd plant it in the garden and make more potatoes out of it. Like maybe they thought that you were an organic person, I don't know. Like maybe they thought you actually liked the fact that you get socks every year because it's traditional, and like maybe they did put the effort in. We just didn't know because we were too in our own head about things. Um, yeah, it's hard when we put that on others or on ourselves, but when we can, it is a beautiful, it's a humbling thing, right? It's very humbling when we can actually stop and go, well, I'm glad I could buy them a $50 present. They could only buy me a $10 present because I've got money and they possibly don't. Maybe they have a money issue. Maybe they're in scarcity or something. I don't know. Um, and like I have one of these guys at work that just spends money on everyone and everything, and I just think to myself, he's such a generous and giving person. And when I get resentful, I notice it. I'm like, why does he have to give it and be everyone's friend and everything? Oh, that's right. I'm just being resentful. Oh, I just need to pull myself back a bit, Catherine. You're being resentful. You know, yeah, you are. Like, he wants to do this. He likes doing those things. Let him. Yeah, you're right. And I can tell self, but if I'm not aware that I'm resentful first, which often that catches us out, like those things catch us out. Emotions, emotions happen before we even know what's going on. But if we can stop ourselves and then bring the awareness to it and go, oh yeah, I can see what's going on. And that's why we need to kind of set these stressor, find what your stressor is. Because then when it pops up, you'll go, oh, that's my stressor. I know I need to have my backup ready. Mm, yeah, I love this. These conversations are good and they're important to have. None of us are without them. So, what matters most? Decide what is important for you and let your intentions guide your decisions and actions based on what is important and valued to you. I guess that kind of comes without saying, in a sense, what we did talked about before, right? We we do the things that we do because they're valuable. Not everyone else will have the same values as us. Recognizing that's important, but honoring our values is honoring us. So find a way to do that without the expectations of receiving those values back. And if that's a really important value, then you're going to need to be very explicit and very specific to that person. Um, so share the cooking, make a list, plan boundaries. I don't know why I wrote share the cooking, but anyway, share the cooking is about like sharing the love. Like be out there and eat and give and receive and do that however you choose to do that. Right? It might be just go to someone's house and eat all their food. Well, that's if that's your vote. It might be give it like food can be hug. Food's what they say, food for the soul food. I don't know. Like you can do different types of food, but making a list of things that you need to do can help unmess situations. But then making sure that you have very clear boundaries is really important this time of year. How far are you willing to let things go? And if people are going to be toxic in your life and they're going to cause problems, then plan around that. Plan around the fact that they're people you don't want to be with. Tell people if you know that that's going to go negative, just say, look, sorry, I'm only going to be here between this hour and this hour, or I'm not coming this year, or whatever you choose to do. Plan it ahead. And I like this. I just put these two pictures in. Keep yourself moving, move your body, and keep exercising through this season. Um, Winter, like you said, Tessa, back to your point about winter being a time when people will slide into depression. In Australia, I actually love January. It's our school holidays, so we get most of January off. It's an amazing time for us. It's summer here, so we have the I feel like in some ways we all set them, the new year intentions, and everyone has all these goals and they get out and exercise and swim and all those type of things. So it's almost the opposite over here. um, but I can imagine that it can be an actual time to rest and rejuvenate if it's your winter. Allow yourself to take in the dark time, and the snow and the hot chocolates and the fires and allowing yourself to have that hibernation, right? So in us, because we're in the summer and we're energetic, and it's actually too hot often, and we're just like can't do anything. But I can imagine when we're in the middle of winter, similar kind of thing, in the fact that we just need to have a time to just rest and rejuvenate. And you can see both sides of it in these pictures. So one's moving, exercising, keeping the energy up, finding ways to continue to do things, and you'll need to do that. But then opposite, remembering to get plenty of sleep, because we know we get emotional when we haven't had enough sleep. So allowing yourself to have that moment, and when we are emotional, allowing ourselves to reset with a nice nap. I know a lot of people with Christmas, they'll have the big excitement and the lunch and everything like that, and then they'll all go off and have little snoozes. They do here. I don't know if they do over there, but they all go off and have little nana naps, and they go off and then they get going again in the evening. But it's to me, I can, as a child, remember when we did do Christmas, like before I was 7, and I used to think I'm ready to play and everything, and everyone's off like sleeping. I want to do things in like the afternoon, and put a movie on. Yeah. So but again, when you're feeling those winter blues, if you're starting to feel the winter blues and you're starting to feel the dark, the damp, then move. Get up and move. Get up and move that body. Get up and do something like physical. And remember to spread the light and love wherever you are. Because when we can fill ourselves up and we can feel our light from within, and we have that Christmas joy, the very best thing we can do is to give it to others. Because when we're full and we're happy, and we talked about this with Tasha today, when everything's good inside, we can project that onto others. Just like negative, when we're negative, we can do that. But just feeling good inside, we get to chance to pass it on to others. Yeah, a picture of me doing a dance in my mum's bathroom. Yeah, to get yourself moving. Yeah, great. And that can be your calm corner, the opposite, your moving corner. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do some punchy things. Now I come back out. I'm all good again. Yeah. Great. Love that. Yeah. And that kind of shrugs off that sadness. It's awesome. Pulls that back up towards that window of tolerance. We've talked about the window of tolerance, right? The hypo, which is the low, and the hyper, which is the high and energy. Getting ourselves in that window. So if we feel ourselves going too low, we need to lift the energy. And if we feel ourselves too high, aggressive, anger, too much is going on, we need to lower the energy. And that's just finding that way. So that's my message to you today is Merry Christmas. And I hope that you have a sparkly Christmas and a lovely New Year. And that basically you can not learn, but and not even appreciate, just be. Be in the moment of a December and open your eyes to what is around you and what is going on. Because there are always things there to appreciate or to see or to experience. Um, there's, there's, I go back to that blade of grass analogy. Blade of grass grows, we pick it, we look at it. The life of that blade of grass has ended. We just picked it and we looked at it, right? But it existed for you at that moment. That was your moment and its moment, and it's gone. That's what happens in life. Everything is here for a moment. We get to stop and take it in. And how you take it in gets to be your choice. And some things we don't get to choose and they get imposed on us. But what we choose to focus on and what we choose to center on and bring our conscious to and bring our focus on is we get to choose that. So I know it's not easy, but hopefully you can take something away from today's session to help you find your calm Christmas or have a crazy Christmas if that's what you choose. Go for it.